"Keep firing, maggots," Executor Eridu shouted over the sounds of the battle. His firing lines hid behind a deep trench across this damned world. Trenches. It was insulting. Then again, after the first 4 waves had landed upon this Class 3 world, the Duru conglomerate had only been able to take and hold a ring 15 miles in diameter. Since then, these hostiles had dug in and begun to push back. This was supposed to be a cakewalk. It was anything but. The Duru conglomerate was more of a massive corporation than an empire. In the cases of its military, it always required proof of concept before it would recruit new divisions. Executor Eridu's superiors had ordered the subduing of this world's military under exactly that premise. "Sir," one of his subcommanders yelled, explosions punctuating his words, "the overhead shield cannot keep taking this beating. Failure is imminent." Executor Eridu looked up. The burning husks of his invasion ships were falling from the sky. Bits of metal peppered the shield as the debris fell. The shield flared bright blue upon their impact. In the air, thousands of enemy fighters shattered the skies. The Duru were outnumbered 15 to 1, and that ratio was only getting worse. This situation was getting rapidly out of hand. Executor Eridu was afraid. "Order 2nd Squad to press forward to that gulch," he yelled to one of his subordinates. The gulch in question was across a field that was so thick with the bright flashes of their enemies' combustion weaponry and an unceasing volley of artillery fire that it was almost impossible to see. The enemy themselves had advanced well past it. Their 20-foot-tall armored suits caused the ground to tremble. Eridu could see the fear in his soldiers' eyes. They fired, but the pulse rounds dissipated across the huge armored monstrosities. Their weapons were completely useless against this onslaught. "Keep firing," he screamed. "For the love of Erish, fire everything we have." The frontmost of the alien armored suits suddenly drew a long sword out from behind it. The thing was 10 feet long and thicker than Eridu's torso. The armored suit yelled something to its comrades, but Eridu had no idea what it meant. "Let's show these poor Xenos why picking Earth was a bad idea," its voice boomed across the battlefield. 15 of the aliens' comrades in arms drew their swords as well. As one, they charged at the Duru lines. The impacts from their footfalls shook the world. Trickles of dirt fell down on the soldiers in the trenches. Many of them had begun to shrivel up in fear. "Hold the line," Eridu yelled, but they were no longer listening. His soldiers began to retreat to their dropships. The dropship pilots did not wait either. The crafts rose up towards the sky. When they passed beyond the failing shield, the aliens' air forces tore them to shreds. There's no escape. Then the armored suits were upon them. Executor Eridu watched as one of his soldiers was sliced in two by the massive blade that the mech held in one hand. He saw another crushed under an alien heel. His army was in full retreat. Behind the suits, he saw thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of the aliens charging across the field towards them. They were bipedal, quite ugly looking, but they had a ferocity on their faces that made Eridu shrivel. He could hear their war cry from here. It was as though the whole world was screaming with them. Then the suits were upon him. One reached out towards him. He shrank back against the wall of his trench. A metal fist closed around his torso and lifted him into the air. It held him suspended in the air. Eridu thrashed and kicked, but it was no use. Above them, the shield finally failed, and then all hell broke loose. The alien fighters and bombers blasted holes through his retreating formations. The screams of his comrades were cut short by unceasing explosions and gunfire. There is no escape. The armored suit's chest opened. Inside, Eridu found one of the aliens looking back at him. It had a brown cylinder that smoked on one end between its lips. It eyed him with disgust. Though Eridu had no idea what it was saying, the alien spoke. "What? Did you really think that you could waltz right up and declare yourself king? Do you think we would lose that easily?" The alien gave Eridu a wide smile. "Welcome to Earth." The fist closed with a sickening crunch. Author's name and the link to original text is in the description.